Welcome to ZigWheels, and today I have a motorcycle that I've been itching to get my hands on, and you two have been eagerly waiting to hear what we think about the 2022 KTM RC 390. So today's review is going to solely focus on the track experience of this bike. So there's not going to be any pillion test or engine heating issues or ABS calibration or ride quality to talk about. This is our very first track ride review of the new RC 390. This is where it is supposed to shine, where it turns men into legends. His 373cc single-cylinder motor has undergone a minor surgery and now gets a larger airbox and revised exhaust design. Power remains constant, but torque is up by 1 Nm. Now there's a reason why this motor has gained so many followers in India. The sheer excitement of revving this engine all the way to the red line is wonderful. But now it's got a larger lung, and that means this motor breathes in more air, and that leads to more torque, not just at the top, but across the rev range. So around this Bajaj test track, it allowed me to carry a gear higher than what I perhaps would have on the older bike. The bottom end is still but the mid-range gains allow the rider to not worry about working the gearbox and focus on just acing the lap. While we like the new end-can design, the raspiness is lost with the latest emission norms. KTM has fine-tuned the electronic suite that first appeared on the 390 Adventure. Toggling through the controls is easy via the switch cube, and some aids can be fiddled around on the fly as well. To find such aids on a sub 400cc Supersport is unheard of, and KTM has truly raised the game in this regard. The traction control on offer never intervenes abruptly, and in fact it did save my skin on one occasion. Plus, the quick shifter here works like a quick shifter should. It is still glitchy, and you have to find the sweet spot higher up in the rev range to have it working seamlessly. But it is a dramatic improvement from the last time we tested this aid on the BSX 390 Duke. It was a pleasant surprise to hear that KTM did in fact kit the bike with the same monoshock with preload and rebound adjustability that it sells in Europe. Non-adjustable USD fork remains a downer, but the current tune is meant to do its bidding on Indian roads. The bigger talking point though remains the lighter components, which I will now give you a demo of by doing some light workout. The hero of this bike story has to be these changes that we mentioned, because they might seem minor on paper, but they've transformed this machine into something incredibly sharp and agile. But hey, that's what you would expect when you find these letters on a motorcycle. But what will blow you away is just how effortlessly it gobbles up corners. Throw it into a bend and it will not have you scared with its sharpness. And this approachability is what will attract more buyers to the RC, especially those who are looking at a sport bike which could perhaps do it all. Now, considering that's the intent, these Metzeler Sportec M5 H-rated tires are a welcome addition to the RC, because thank God it isn't coming with the MRF revs like it used to for a brief period in time. But having said that, KTM India could have looked at local tire manufacturers and kitted this bike out with, say, the Apollo Alpha H1s or the TVS Pro Torque Extremes, both W-rated tires and far more grippy than these ones, which would have enhanced the capabilities of this bike even further, especially out here on the racetrack. Now, even these small ergonomic changes have contributed in making this RC so much more enjoyable than the previous one. For starters, this flatter seat allows you to move around in the saddle fairly easily. And then, once you hop on, this larger tank with its neat tank recesses allows you to straddle the bike well. But the biggest impact that has been made here are thanks to these raised clip-on bars, which allow even pot-bellied riders to find their favorable riding position out here on the track.
The Alcantara-like seat texture adds to the premium feel of the bike. And now juggling between a race cowl and a pillion seat would be far easier to do. So come on KTM, bring the power parts for this bike.
Now I'm only going to let you guys decide whether you like the design or not. KTM fanboys, have a go at it in the comments. But what I would like to add though is that the view from the saddle is far better than from off it. Because from here, I get to look at this beautiful color TFT dash. And even when you're not in a tuck, the wind blast wasn't that much of an issue. And we had quite a windy day today.
A bit more attention to detail needs to be paid to the fitment levels on this bike. Panel gaps are quite inconsistent. Also, the various different panel textures, especially around the headstock area, doesn't give you a cohesive look.
I'm in that new thing, hop out like bow, bow. Had to cut off dead weight, got me focused now. When you hang around success, you in love with success.
The 2022 KTM RC 390 has been worth the wait. The improvement that this bike needs, aka these tires, are a quick fix once you run these into the ground. The engine is just as wow as it has been ever since the start. But the handling package is what makes it such a delightful little motorcycle. Would an adjustable front fork have helped? Well, yes, because I would have been able to tune the ride according to my liking. But as it is, I am eager to find out how this bike is in the real world. And you know, that video should come out soon. So hit the like, share, subscribe and bell notification icon. But here's my parting thought. At rupees 3.14 lakh ex-showroom Delhi, this RC390 is roughly 36,000 rupees more expensive than the previous model. And justifying this premium is pretty hard, especially when you consider that this is almost a 4 lakh rupee bike when you factor in taxes and stuff. And when you consider that bikes that have a lot more adjustability on offer, have fraction of the performance but have similar set of features and are far better put together at lower price tags, KTM has certainly lost its great bang for buck value. But the joy of riding this bike isn't lost. In fact, it has doubled. And that's the great bit about this new RC390. It delivers great amounts of dopamine on every single ride.